everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to do some yoga stretches for golf. And if anybody's like me, they're really missing the golf course right now. And as you can see behind me, it is winter while I am recording this video. So just really important to try and keep your body limber and keep those muscles and joints that we use to swing our golf club nice and relaxed throughout the off season. So working with our shoulders, our hips, low back, and just making sure we keep that range of motion. So if you have a golf club with you, that's great. Maybe just even getting that club in your hand will get you excited or sad. Let's get excited with the golf club in our hand. So taking your golf club out in front of you so that it's at a shoulder width apart. And you want your feet as wide as your hips. And you're just going to take that golf club straight arms like you would with that left arm in your golf swing behind you. Keeping your gaze over your shoulder, making sure that's comfortable for your neck. Breathing is really important here. So taking a long, deep inhale and full exhale. Feeling that opening for your right shoulder blade, right hip, left low back. And then bringing that golf club back to center, taking yourself over to the left side. So taking your gaze over that left shoulder, keeping that right arm straight and breathing into that stretch. So feeling that opening through your shoulders, hips, and low back. Continuing your breath, again, very important, keeping a long spine and posture. Deep breath in, full exhale out, bringing that golf club back to center. And then taking your club up overhead. If you don't have a golf club, no problem. You can just use one arm and then the opposite arm. Your legs again, your feet are hip width apart. You're just going to take yourself over to the right side. So again, trying to keep that integrity in your spine, feeling that deep stretch and opening down the left side of your body. So feeling that in your hips and low back. Continuing your breath, long, deep inhale and full exhale. Bringing yourself back to center, taking you over to the opposite side. So I'm taking my body left, feeling this deep stretch down the right. So down all the way from my fingertips down into my hips and low back. Again, trying to keep that breath. So the breath helps us focus on the stretch, helps us kind of get through any strain we may be feeling. It also helps to warm up our muscles. So long, deep inhale, full exhale. Awesome job. And back to center. Now taking your club in front of you again, we're going to open our legs up wide and slowly bring yourself forward. So bringing yourself down one vertebrae at a time so that your head of your crown has to come down. And just if you can, letting go of that golf club onto the floor in front of you, placing both hands down on your mat. And then sweeping that right arm up towards the ceiling, your gaze to follow. So bringing your eyes up to that right thumb. If that's uncomfortable in your neck, just keep your gaze down towards your mat. So really working on the shoulders, biceps, triceps here, keeping that opening. Long, deep inhale and full exhale. Releasing that right hand down to your mat, taking that left hand up, sweeping it up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze up to that left thumb if that feels comfortable for your neck. If not, keeping that gaze down, as I said, towards your mat. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. And release. And then grabbing your club again, taking yourself up slowly, one vertebrae at a time, until the crown of your head is the last to come up. We're going to take that club behind your back. So taking your golf club in either hand, feet are hip width apart again. You want to just bring that club up towards the ceiling, keeping those arms straight, chest is open, spine is long, feeling those shoulder blades come together. And exhale as you bring them back down. Inhaling them up. And exhale. Inhaling up. And exhale. And one more time. Inhaling as we bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And release. And now again, taking our legs wide on our mat, keeping that golf club in either hand behind you. And again, slowly hinging yourself forward, feet are wide, taking that golf club up overhead. Chest is open, shoulder blades coming together, feeling that opening, allowing the crown of your head to be the last to come down. Long inhale, full exhale. Awesome. One more deep breath in. And let it go. Slowly bringing ourselves up again, one vertebrae at a time. So the crown of your head is the last to come up. Taking your right foot, so it's long on your mat, pointing towards the short end, taking your left leg behind you, bringing that golf club back in front of you with both hands into triangle pose. Taking the club so that your hips are forward and taking a deep inhale as you bring that club straight right arm all the way back. Taking your gaze over your shoulder and back to center. And inhaling back, feeling that opening through your left hip flexor, low back, right shoulder blade, and back to center. And one more time, taking that all the way back and back to center. And then switching the opposite side. So taking triangle on the left side. So your left leg is long in front of you, right leg back. Again, taking that club in front of you, hips are forward. And as we take ourselves around to the right, taking that gaze over your right shoulder. And exhaling back to center. Another deep inhale as we take ourselves around, gaze over that shoulder and back to center. And one more time, coming around to the right, taking that gaze over your right shoulder, trying to keep that left arm straight and back to center. Awesome job, everybody. Now we're going to come down onto our right knee. So you want to keep that left knee so that your knee is tucked over your ankle. Taking that club again in front of you so that your hands are, so it's about shoulder width apart. And again, taking a deep inhale, bringing that club over to the right. So opening up those hips. And back to center. And then taking that golf club up overhead, arching that low back, taking your gaze up towards the ceiling, feeling a full opening through that right hip flexor and low back. Engaging your glutes on the left side. And releasing it back to center. And then taking yourself over to the left side, keeping that left arm straight, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Again, trying to breathe into the stretch. So long, deep inhale in and a full exhale out. Bringing that back to center, taking that club back up overhead, taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. Again, feeling that deep opening through that right hip flexor. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. Bringing your club back down, placing it down on the mat in front of you, and then taking your left hand on the inside of that left foot and sweeping that right hand up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze up with it if that's comfortable for your neck. Remembering your breath, keeping us focused, giving us balance and center. Long, deep breath in, full exhale out. And one more time, deep inhale. Full exhale through your nose or your mouth. Then taking that right hand on the inside of that left foot, sweeping that left hand up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze up towards that left thumb. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. One more deep breath in through your nose. Full exhale through your mouth. And back to center. And then taking your club with you, switching this over to the opposite side. So we've got that right leg forward, knee stacked over your ankle, taking your golf club into your hands. So again, shoulder width apart at shoulder height. And taking your body around to the left side, feeling that deep opening through your low back on the left and hip flexors. Engaging your core, so bringing your belly button to your spine and back to center. Taking those hands up overhead, feeling that arch in your low back, opening up that left hip flexor all the way down into your glutes. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. And then bringing that club around to the right, taking your gaze with it over that right shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. Taking one more long, deep breath in. And let it go. Bringing yourself back to center. Taking that club up overhead again, little arch in that low back, taking your gaze up to the wall in front of you or the ceiling, feeling that opening through that left hip flexor. Long, deep breath in. Full exhale out. Great job. Now we're just going to get into a comfortable seated position. So cross-legged into easy pose, legs crossed, spine is long, your neck is long. You can have your club in front of you just for reassurance that the golf season is coming. But we're just going to take your right hand on your left knee, taking that left hand, sweeping it behind you, taking your gaze, if it's comfortable for your neck, over that left shoulder. If not, bringing your gaze in front of you, whatever feels right for your body. Taking a long, deep inhale in. And full exhale out. And then doing the opposite side, taking that left hand on the outside of your right knee, sweeping that right hand behind you, taking your gaze along with it if that feels comfortable for your neck, feeling that opening through your left shoulder blades into your right low back. Long, deep inhale in. Full exhale out. Bringing yourself back to center, placing your left hand down on the left side of your mat. Taking that right arm up and over, feeling that deep stretch down the right side of your body. Trying not to hinge forward, keeping the integrity in your spine. Long, deep inhale. Full exhale. And back to center. Right hand down on your mat, left hand up and over. And feeling this deep stretch down the left side of your body from that baby finger down into your hip flexors and low back. Taking that long, deep inhale. Full exhale. And release. And then taking that golf club back in your hand, just taking it out in front of you and slowly hinging forward. Bringing your forehead down towards your mat. Pushing that club a little bit farther away from you. Feeling that deep stretch through your low back. Take a long, deep breath in. Full exhale out. Slowly bringing yourself back to center. Just taking a nice, long, deep breath in. Full exhale out. And there you go. Hopefully feeling a little bit more stretched out, and practicing it on a regular basis will hopefully, when we get into that golf season, make your body nice and loose and ready to play. Thank you, everybody. Stay well.